Alright gamers, in this episode we're going to go back and take a look at the Speedster character from Mutants and Masterminds and give it an overhaul. Alright gamers, welcome back to Game Master's Dungeon. I am Brian, your Game Master, and today we are going to go back to the Speedster character for an overhaul that we created last year. I went back and I looked at it and I was like, you know what? I think I can do a lot better now. And I want to share that with you guys. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy my content, hit that subscribe button and that bell icon so you can get notifications when I post new content. With that out of the way, let's get into it. Alright gamers, so here we are. We got our PDF loaded up here. I've created basically a whole new character. I went back with what I had before. I kept a lot of the same powers. I made a few tweaks, made a few changes. Obviously now I've got the digital PDF, so I'll be able to put a link in the description below where you can go and download that, use it as you like. So let's start taking a look here. And hopefully if you've got your book, and be following along if you like. So we're going to start here at the top. Okay, so we've got filled out. So obviously this is all my personal stuff. If you decide to use this character, change it as you will. So I went with a male character. I named him James Bass. He's male. He's 18 years old, 5'8", 155 pounds. He's going to have blue eyes and brown hair. He's going to have a secret identity. I'm going to call him the Blue Bolt because I like the Flash TV show. I loved Zoom. His blue lightning looked super cool, so I want that effect. I kind of visualized him as like Sub-Zero gets Flash powers, kind of, but more sleek, not as much ninja. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it looks good in my head. So he's part of Team Supreme like the rest of them are. His base of operations is in the vault with the rest of them. He is power level 10. You know what? Actually, let's go in here. Let's see if we can slide that over, make it look better. There we go. Abilities, I spent 28 points. I spent 91 points in powers, 11 points in advantages, 11 points in skills, 9 points in defenses, 450 total points spent. So we will look at abilities. So we got 2 in strength, stamina, agility, dexterity, 4 in fighting, 0 intellect, 0 presence, and 2 in awareness. We'll come back to the offenses here at the end. So let's get into the meat and potatoes here. Let's look at the powers. So I made a heading of super speed. So all of this stuff is going to be under this heading instead of a bunch of individual powers to keep it organized. So we're going to start with speed, rank 12. That's going to allow him to go 8,000 miles an hour. I can't even imagine what that would look or feel like, but I picture it being amazing. But yeah, I want him to just be super fast. Like 8,000 miles an hour is crazy fast. I took quickness power at 10 ranks, so I put right here. So basically whatever would normally take him 1 hour to do, he can do it in 3 seconds. Crazy fast, like I said. We got 2 movement powers here, or so 2 movement headings. So movement, we took 3 ranks of water walking and wall crawling. So 1 level of water walking. And it's limited to running. So as long as he's running on the water, he can run on the water. If he stops, he'll sink. And then wall crawling, he can run up walls and all that cool stuff. And he's not vulnerable while he does so, and he can move at his full speed. And then movement 3, so permeate. So that means he can move through solid objects, limited to running. So he has to be running. Doesn't necessarily have to be at his full speed, but he does have to be running. But he can move through walls and vehicles, people, just like the Flash does in the TV show. And obviously with the limited, because movement is normally 2 points per rank. But so 3 ranks then becomes 3 points. 3 ranks becomes 3 points. We took enhanced dodge and parry at 10 levels each. So that's 10 points each. We took regeneration 5 for 5 points. He's going to have the ability to throw lightning like the Flash does. He runs around in circles and just throws his blue lightning out there. Made it a ranged damage power of 8. So it'll deal 8 damage at ranged. Now, here's the power I went back and I looked at. This is kind of the main reason why I wanted to change this character. So the fast attack is multiple versions of the same attack, but it's done as an array. Now, an array is basically an alternate effect. So let's just talk about it. So it's damage 4 base, and it's strength base. So his strength of 2, okay, adds to the damage base of 4 for a total of 6, which is right here. And it's selective and it's multi-attack. So selective, I can choose who I hit with the power. If I decide to use like the arc, you know, everything around me in close range. So if an ally's next to me and a couple of enemies, I can just hit the enemies without worrying about hitting my ally. And it's all damage for 6. So now how it works point-wise. So this is 16 points for this. Okay, so it's damage 4, so 4 points. But it's selective and multi-attack on a total of damage 6. So selective is 1 additional point per rank, and multi-attack is 1 additional point per rank. So 6, basically 6 levels of multi-attack, 6 levels of selective is 12 points, and then the 4 points base for the damage, which is a total of 16 points. Now, as the alternate effect, it's damage 4, that's strength based, but this is burst area, and it's selective on damage 6 as well. But it only costs a single point. Let me tell you why. So an alternate effect is, so as this example, right? So basically it's a different setting. You know, think of like Star Trek, you know, phasers. You know, we got stun, we have kill, right? It's the same weapon, but it's got different settings. So this, I've got one setting of multi-attacking either everything in my immediate area around me, or you can even use the multi-attack to single target. Basically a bunch of strikes consecutively on the same target. So when you make your to hit roll, if you have, I think it's 2 degrees. You know what? Let's just double check. Let's get out the old book here. Multi-attack. If you're following along, page 143. Single target. If the attack is successful, increase the attack's resistance check by +2 for 2 degrees of success, and +5 for 3 or more. So when you hit with the single target, if you get 2 degrees of success or more, you improve the toughness or the resistance DC by +2. Or if you get 3 degrees of success or more, you add +5. So basically, it's just a bunch of hits that's really hard to shake off. And then the multi-attack is the one where you can attack everything in the immediate area, but you take a -1 to hit for each target. So you've got 3 thugs around you, and you want to hit all 3. You're going to take a -3 to hit, but you roll against each target. Even if you miss the first one, you can still attempt to hit the rest of them. And then, but then with the burst area, so burst area is a 30-foot radius around you, and and it's selective, so you can make an attack roll against basically whatever you want to select to attack in that area. And this is the same thing, right? So it's strength based, damage 4, but you apply 6 levels of the area extra with burst and selective. So for, technically that would be 12 points plus 4, 16, like the main power. But since it's an alternate effect, it only costs you 1 extra point to make that additional setting. So when you use fast attack here, okay, when you use fast attack, it's either one or the other. You can't do both at the same time, one or the other, if that makes sense. If you have any questions on how that works in the math, leave them in the comments below, and maybe I can give a little bit better of a detailed written description. And then we bought 5 levels of enhanced initiative, and you'll see this little asterisk, this little star next to it. So basically then I put it down here under advantages. So The enhanced initiative basically purchases improved initiative advantage. So 5 levels of that gives him plus 20 to his initiative modifier, plus his 2 agility, so he's got a plus 22 to his initiative. Now the likelihood of you going first, very high. Okay, so that's for powers. Let's go down and look at advantages. So the improved initiative is not calculated in the advantages total because it's purchased with power points. You're going to take move by action, so that means you can move, act, and move again, or move after. And since you can move so fast, it doesn't really matter where you go, So we took defensive roll of 4, so that gives him plus 4 to his toughness save. Because I built this character with a really high dodge and a parry, basically a really high avoidance. But if he happens to get hit, he doesn't take it very well. But he does have regeneration. So, if you do take some damage, not all is lost. It's not dire straits. But when we get back up to the top and looking at defenses, I'll show you what I've done. Then I took improved critical for unarmed. So basically the fast attack power is all unarmed attack with his fist because it's strength based. And also what it means by strength based is that means if you're ever denied the use of your strength, like if you're weakened, or basically if you can't swing your fist, you can't use this power. Think about it like that, okay? I took improved critical of 4 ranks. So it can only take 4 ranks total, okay? So now if you look up here, so his unarmed attacks, this is the multi-attack selective. It's got a crit range of 16 to 20. Now, a 20 is still only an automatic hit. The 16, even if you roll a 16 but you still miss, it's not a crit, okay? But I'm assuming he moves so fast, like you watch the Flash TV show where he moves around people and they're like, stuck in time, and he's able to do whatever. I'm assuming it's going to give him all the time he needs to strike the vital points in the target. So that's going to help with putting out some extra damage, because the damage itself isn't tremendous. But if you get those crits, it increases their toughness resistance test by, I think it's an extra plus 5 for a critical hit. So really good. Then I took instant up, so if you happen to get knocked down, you can instantly stand up and then start running around again. And then I took uncanny dodge, so because when we get into skills, I took perception of 6, but something sneaks up on you. Normally, if you're caught unawares, you're surprised. Well, this, and then if you're surprised, you're vulnerable. But Uncanny Dodge says that you are not vulnerable if you're surprised or caught off guard. So I figured that was really good thematically with the character. And then skill-wise, I took Acrobatics, put 4 ranks in there, total of 6. Unarmed Combat, so 6 ranks, and 4 from the fighting for a plus 10 to give a decent amount of hit. And then Perception of 4, plus 2 for 6. And then ranged combat for throwing your lightning. 8 ranks with 2 ability modifier for a total of 10, so you can hit just as well with it. Once again, this sheet is goofy. Don't look at these 6s. I can't get them to go away. See, I don't know if any of you downloaded these and played with it. I tried, right? But it's a really good sheet. I found it online. So, okay. And now we're going to go up here. Now we're going to look at defenses. So I put 9 points in here. So my agility plus my enhanced dodge would have been 12. But I added 2 additional points there to make it a 14. Because remember, your dodge plus your toughness totals cannot be more than double the series power level. So we have a 2 base toughness from our stamina, but we have a 6 with our defensive roll. So you have to take that into account, because if I raised dodge any higher, I would lose benefits of defensive roll. So I didn't want to do that. So 6 plus 14 is 20. So this is capped. Your parry is also capped, because parry and toughness cannot be more than twice the series power level. And then your fortitude and your will cannot be more than double the series power level. So excuse me, I've been sick for a couple of weeks here, just trying to get over it. Now, parry I didn't put any extra points into because I have 4 in fighting and I have 10 in parry. So that's that. I put 4 points in fortitude because my stamina was only 2. I put 4 points there, so 2 and 4 is 6. And then my will save was based on awareness was 2. I just had 3 points left. I put 3 points there. So as you can see, dodge and parry, like, he's very evasive. He's hard to hit. But if you do hit him, depending upon what you hit him with, he might be in trouble. But that's kind of how it is when you're that character. Like, you look at the Flash, like, if he gets hit, he normally takes some damage because he's not super resilient. He does regenerate, but he's not super tough like, Superman or, whatever else that has, insane resilience. So you're relying on these dodges and parrying. That's why I took the uncanny dodge, so you don't get surprised, so you're not vulnerable, so you don't lose your active defense from defensive roll to toughness and things like that. And then on offensive, right, so you get plus 10 to hit with basically all your attacks, your unarmed attacks, and you throw your lightning. Range damage 8, and then the burst selective damage 6 because it's strength based plus 4 with a 16 to 20 crit range. I think that's pretty good. But yeah, that's it. I just wanted to do a quick overhaul video on that character, just so you guys can kind of see, my process is a little better than it was when I originally did that. Plus, I will put a link in the description below to where you can go and download this sheet. You can use it at your leisure, whatever you want to do with it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, like I said, hit that like button. If you like my content, hit that subscribe button and that bell icon so you get instant notifications when I post new content. And I'm Brian, your Game Master. Until I see you again in the dungeon, happy gaming.